Hey folks, 99 here. Happy Saturday to you and thank you for stopping by to watch the video. I want to share something with you today about my generator, and there's nothing special about this generator in and of itself. And it's not a review of the generator, but it's just some general information. This is the Generac ET1500. I've had this generator for about 20 years, and it's just a 1500, and I'm assuming that it's 1500 peak watts as opposed to running watts, so it's probably somewhere in the 1100 running watts capacity. But it does well for what it was meant to do. Just a regular Briggs and Stratton 3.5 four-stroke motor, pull start, basic functions on it, the choke, on and off switch. And on this side, it's just the two AC ports with the fuse breaker there. And so it's good for running your basic. I've had power outages before when this was my only gasoline generator, to where power goes out. Woke up in the morning, plugged up my refrigerator, still was able to run the television, maybe a couple of lights in the kids' room, just the extension cord set up. Nothing special, but it's able to get you through. So not super powerful, but on a budget, when you're only running a few things, it does well. Now, but my point of the video today, as far as this generator goes, is that I think it's important that we understand that you shouldn't neglect your equipment, which is what I did. And I'm not ashamed to say, hey, I didn't take care of it the way I should have. And as you see today, I have my kit out here. I'm actually going to do an oil change on it. So I will be doing an oil change on this one and my larger unit. This is the Predator 4000 peak watts with 3200 running watts. So now the Predator is my main gasoline generator, and the older Generac with the Briggs and Stratton is kind of my backup gasoline generator. So this is the mistake that I made, and I want to show you something. And to me, this is important, and we have to make sure we didn't do that. We don't do this. So if you look right here in this space right here, this is the carburetor. Okay, and I forget the code or the part number for this, but I found it on eBay, and you can tell it's kind of a little more shiny and silvery. And it's because I replaced the carburetor, put a brand new carb on there, and because I'm out here as I do normally, cutting the grass, and I knew that this generator wasn't working. So as I was cutting the grass a few weeks ago, I said, I'm going to try again to start the generator, and it wouldn't start. I took the carburetor apart, and I know that I neglected it, and I didn't empty the fuel or run it until the fuel was out of it. Now this one does not have a gasoline petcock on it anywhere, so you can't turn the fuel off and let the engine die the way you're supposed to, so there won't be any fuel in the carburetor. So I had to figure out how to do that when you store for the long term. Also, with that being said, I didn't use the Sta-Bil in the gas tank the way I do now, which is a fuel stabilizer, and I don't recommend necessarily this one, but I think you should use something. So, with that being said, I had to replace the carburetor, and I want to show you what the old one looked like. This was the old carburetor that was on there, the original. And if you look right here, all the rust and gunk that was in this carburetor, and this thing would be probably a nightmare to try to clean the jets and get everything out to where it would work perfectly. And I sprayed a little bit of carb cleaner in there and had no luck, and I did it a couple of times. And I'm thinking, the brand new carburetor that I would buy. It was only $25, $26. So, you know, time is money. And look at this. That thing is nasty in there. That thing is nasty. So it wasn't really worth the time that I was spending on trying to get it clean. So went ahead and put a new one on there and works fine. Just a little bit of adjustments. There's a small adjustment. I think it's on an idle screw that's in here. Not the main jet right there, but there's an idle screw on right inside of here that I had to take the filter off to get to. It's kind of hard to see in there, but it's there. So I just think it's important that we take better care of our generators. I mean, you have to rely on this equipment. So if you want it to work, I tend to come outside and do my lawn, and I would say every third time, fourth time, or something like that, I'll look over at my generators, especially this one, because this is the one that has been working because it's newer, and I've only had this one about 3 years. So every maybe a month and a half or so, I pull it out and start it up, and I make sure I don't keep a lot of fuel in it. I keep fuel in my auxiliary tanks uh, uh, so that the fuel doesn't go bad. But in the back of my mind, I've always known that this one, the engine works. So when I was able to spray carb cleaner or fuel directly into the carburetor, it would fire up and run until that fuel ran out. So I know that the engine works, and I tested that I was getting power from the power head. So it had to be the carburetor. I went for it, replaced the carburetor. Everything works now, and I'm gonna do an oil change on it, and I have to just make a conscious effort and commitment to taking better care of it. It's been literally sitting here not working for the past maybe 10 years. And it's just always been in the back of my mind. But again, having this one, and if you've seen any of my other videos, I have the solar power generators with solar panels and everything. So it wasn't emergent that I needed it done right away, but I always knew that I had to get it done. So just finally got it done about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks. And I just have to make sure that I took better care of it. So the small 1500 Generac is back on, and I'm inside the garage now. I'm working on the generator in the garage, but just a word of caution: do not run your generators inside anywhere or near your homes or any enclosures where people are breathing air. These things need to be far away from the house, and with extension cords as far away as you can get it. And you don't want to fall asleep and not wake up with the carbon monoxide. And keep carbon monoxide detectors available and around and those in working conditions also. Check those and test them and use the test button to make sure. That's just generator safety, I guess we can say. So if this one does work, I would take it outside and show you that it works and all that stuff, but then, hell with it. Hold on a second. Okay, I had to take this thing outside because I don't like things to be undone. So change the carburetor. Let's go on here and put on the choke, switch it to on. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Gas generators are loud, but they work and it runs. Okay, so it might need a little bit of adjustment on the carburetor, but I think it might be running out of fuel also, because I've made sure I didn't leave a lot of fuel in there this time. So yeah, it works. Take care of your generators. Make sure that they work, because they might need to get you out of some trouble in a situation. And that's what I did. Hey folks, thanks for watching. I appreciate you clicking on the video. And remember, respect the working class. We get it done. Thank ya.